Welcome back to Salt and Light Wealth Podcast. I'm Matt Flegler. Before we jump in today, just a quick invite from July 2nd to the 4th. We're hosting the Salt and Light Business Refresh, and that's here in Cairns near the Great Barrier Reef. It's for Christian business leaders who want to step back and hear from God, get fresh vision, and connect with other faith-driven entrepreneurs. If that sounds like something you need right now, check out the details on our website at saltlightwealth.com. Okay, so today I want to talk about something that completely changed the way I think about business, blessing, and provision. Now, probably about several years ago, we spent time at Bethel in Redding, California, around the BSSM environment, Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, where a lot of young people were living completely by faith. Now, I'm talking 18 to 25-year-olds giving a year of their life, sometimes even 3 years of their life, to be trained in supernatural ministry. And most of them were living on the smell of an oily rag, like just trusting God to provide just, survival stuff like pay the rent and groceries and school fees. Sometimes everything. They just was amazing faith environment to see it. And honestly, it was really inspiring. And people would share testimonies like, I've got $11 left in my bank account and rent's due tomorrow, and somehow God pulls through. The bills get paid, there's food on the table, rent's covered, everyone's happy. Some of those stories were really, really wild. Like, I remember one person was driving their car back home at night, and they were stuck behind a truck, and like a chunk of concrete fell off the back of that truck and smashed into their windscreen. Oh, sucks, right? And they went and parked the car in their garage. And that night, thinking, well, I'll have to deal with the insurance and work out how to repair this the next day. But also quietly trusting God that, like, he's got this. Okay. Woke up the next morning, goes into the garage to sort out the windscreen repair, to see the windscreen was completely healed, like fixed, no crack, no damage, nothing. And like, honestly, it sounds so unbelievable. You're sitting there thinking there going, no way. Like, that is insane. And like, that's just one instance. That happens all the time. And being around all this stirred something in my wife and I, because at the time we already had businesses. We had barbershops and had multiple products in e-commerce, property development. Like, we know how to work hard. We know how to make money. Scripture is very clear. God gives us the power to create wealth. We took that. Okay, He's given us the power. Let's go and do it. Let's go make it happen. But seeing all this, I started asking a different question. I remember sitting down on the couch with my wife and I, and we just said, God, what does it look like for you to bless the work of our hands, to bless our business? Like, not just survival or just enough. What does multiplication look like with you involved? And what I love is we didn't come to God with some super specific prayer. And a lot of time in business, we already have that outcome mapped out. God, bless this strategy, increase this product, or Lord, I thank you for those finance terms being approved, and open this door, close that one. We have some very specific things that we want God to do. But this time it felt hands off, like surrendered. And we said, God, whatever blessing looks like to you, we just trust you. Then a few days later, one of our e-commerce products took off, and it was a magnetic dartboard, a kid's toy. And out of nowhere, sales just took off. And we're like, so much so that we had to like keep ramping the price up in order to slow it down because we didn't want to run out of inventory. Because if you run out of inventory, you lose your rank. It's just an online thing. If you know, you know. And the more we raised the price on it to slow the rate of sale down, the more it sold. So we like turned the ads off, and it's still selling. We raised the price again, it's still selling, and we're just trying to, because we eventually ran out of stock for about a week, which is okay. Because it's not like we could have done a quick order or emergency order from our supplier in China and have it air freighted over, because it's magnetic. The air freight was not able to be air freighted, so it only could go by sea. And so we just had to wait the time frame for the ship to arrive. Interesting thing is when I compared the numbers to the same month the year before, completely shocking. The previous year, that product did about $2,500 for the month. This time, a year later, it was $25,000. That's 10x. And because the ads were off for most of it, that's profit. And I remember feeling like God was saying, this is what my blessing looks like. Now, here's what I learned from this. Sometimes we're so focused on telling God exactly how to bless us that we miss what he actually wants to do. We lock on to an outcome, a strategy or a time frame, but what if we approached God with curiosity instead? God, what does your favor look like in my circumstances? What are you already breathing on? Because when God blesses something, there's a supernatural grace on it. There's momentum. There's peace. There's just fruitfulness. Things just move and happen differently. So I want to challenge you with the same question that we were provoked with. Go and ask God, God, what does this look like for you to bless the work of my hands? And then step back, pay attention, and start to notice what begins to happen. Watch what doors open. Watch where the favor is starting to flow, because sometimes the biggest breakthrough comes when you stop trying to control the outcome and start partnering with what God is already doing. I hope that blesses you. Listen, thanks for joining me on this podcast. Please send this episode to another Christian business leader who needs this reminder to release this testimony and see God do it again. Guys, I want you to have this experience in your business, not just a one-off, but every day. And I'll see you in the next one.